Good morning everyone, welcome to all fours e-learning classes. This is Zoology subject session 2 under Endocrine system, that is chemical coordination and control chapter. Under that today's topics, that is session 2, the topic is a hypothalamus and endocrine system. We have endocrine organs. Now we'll discuss. In the previous class we have discussed the hormones, their the nature, properties, and the first hormone to be discovered, that is none other than the first hormone to be detected is secretin, and the hormones are secreted only from the endocrine glands. They are not stored. If they are excessive, they are removed through urine via the kidney and through bile via the liver. And hormones are not at all stored. They are released in a trace amount. In trace amount or low concentration, they are highly potent. Right. Hormones are with the terms end as the suffix as in or tropin or the tropic hormone, we say. Hormones are with the suffixes, that is the hormones. For suppose hormones adrenaline, in adrenaline. Next gonadotropin. FSH and LH are said to be the gonadotropins since they influence on the gonad, so gonadotropin, tropin. Next tropic hormones, adrenocorticotropic hormone. Next somatotropic hormone, tropic hormone. These are the suffixes that give as an end term for the hormones. Generally the tropic hormone is implies to the hormones which influence the other glands to secrete their hormones. For suppose adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH secreted from the adenohypophysis, which stimulate the adrenal cortex to secrete its corticoid hormone. Is it clear? So tropic term is implies to the hormones which influence the other gland to secrete their respective hormones. So this is the previous class we have discussed, and classification of the hormone based on their chemical nature, whether they are amine hormones or else peptide, proteinoid and steroid hormones we discussed. Let's come to the discussion of the endocrine system. Generally the endocrine system, if we observe, it is also seen in the invertebrates also. For suppose invertebrates range from porifera to hemichordata. So in arthropods we do come across the endocrine system, but few or some hormones are released. It is not as well developed in the case of the human beings, higher vertebrates, whereas in the case of the human beings, mammals, the well developed endocrine system is present, which release the large amount of hormones, and they are for regulating the activities. So now we are going to discuss the endocrine system in the human beings. Generally the endocrine glands are the glands which do not have the ducts, so they are releasing their secretions, chemical messengers into the blood. Thereby they are transported through the blood and reach the tissues, organs and cells, thereby bring about the control and coordination. All this, the endocrine gland, their secretion diffusing into the, transporting into the cells, tissues and organ and regulating their activities is all what name it to be the endocrine system. Generally, these endocrine system, which includes the endocrine gland, they are of two types: purely endocrine glands, and the partly endocrine glands, partly endocrine glands. I repeat, the endocrine system, which includes the endocrine glands, they are of the purely endocrine glands and the partly endocrine glands. What do you mean by this? I mean to say that some of the endocrine glands, that is none other than the pituitary, pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, and adrenal gland. If you observe, these endocrine glands are exclusively releasing the hormones. They are for only releasing the secreting, synthesizing, and releasing the hormones, chemical messengers, the non-nutrient intracellular, the chemicals that are released in trace amount is the only function of these pituitary, pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, and adrenal. Whereas if you see the partly endocrine glands, for suppose if you see the pancreas is said to be the mixed gland. It is both exocrine and endocrine. It is secreting the digestive juices which are released through their ducts. So it is a duct gland, and it is releasing the hormone, glucagon, insulin, and the what is called somatostatin and pancreatic polypeptide hormone. This is with the two portion, one hormone releasing and another is digestive juices. Let's see another gonads, testis and ovary. Testis what produces the sperms, ovary produces ova. Those are gamete cells whose fusion results in a zygote, and the continuity of race of human beings takes place. Is it right? So does it have only one function of hormone? That is, the germ cells is production. Besides, the testes produce testosterone, a steroid hormone, and ovary produce estrogen, progesterone, which means the pancreas, gonads called testis and ovary have the function besides releasing hormones. They are what name it to be the partly endocrine. The list of the partly endocrine, none other than hypothalamus. Okay, hypothalamus. Next, the gonads. Next, the gonads includes both the testis as well as ovary. Testis as well as ovary. Next, placenta, pancreas, gastrointestinal tract, kidneys. These are all what we consider, these are what are said to be the partly endocrine, which means they have the property of releasing hormone. Besides that, they have certain functions. Hypothalamus is nothing but the ventral side of the dancephalon. That is hypothalamus. It is acting as a satiety center. It is the thermostat of the body. It is maintaining the thirst, hunger, all what performed by hypothalamus. Besides that, it releases the hormones. There are hormones releasing from the hypothalamus, name it to be the releasing hormone and inhibitory hormone. And already we discussed that antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin and oxytocin are also synthesized in the hypothalamus and are brought into the neurohypophysis. So it is having the functions related to the nervous system as well as the endocrine system. So it is partly then gonads, testis and ovary, producing the germ cells as well as the hormones. Testis is testosterone, ovary is estrogen. Next, placenta. Placenta is an intimately associated structure between the womb and the fetus, which is releasing chorionic gonadotropin, relaxin, and it is releasing progesterone, estrogen hormones, and it is the one which is responsible for the exchange of gases from a mother to the fetus. It is for protection, right? And pancreas is secreting the digestive juices as well as the hormones. Next, gastrointestinal tract. This also we have discussed earlier. From gastrointestinal tract, gastrin, enterogastrone, secretin, cholecystokinin, enterocrinin. These are the hormones released from the gastrointestinal tract. Next, kidneys. Kidneys secretes, kidneys synthesize erythropoietin. Erythropoietin is a hormone which stimulates the RBC production. During the tissues we have discussed, if anemia is a condition found to be takes place, the kidney is stimulated and secretes the erythropoietin. This erythropoietin stimulates the erythroblast cells, that is the stem cells, to produce the RBC. This is what the detail of purely endocrine, none other than pituitary, pineal, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus and adrenal, whereas partly endocrine gland or hypothalamus, gonads, placenta, pancreas, gastrointestinal tract, kidneys. Generally, this endocrine system, which is very much highly evolved, highly developed in the case of the human beings, which includes pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, adrenal gland, pancreas, gonads called testis, ovary. These are what we are about to discuss. As the endocrine system is showing the various activities. That's what we are going to discuss, the endocrine system. In this connection, first of all, we'll go for the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is hypo in the sense the below, thalamus chamber. Generally, diencephalon is said to be the thalamincephalon. Thalamincephalon, it is said to be. Diencephalon is said to be the thalamincephalon. It is like a chamber, diencephalon. Ventral side of it is said to be the hypothalamus. Dorsal side of it, it is named to be the epithalamus. The flattened structure of below the thalamus is a hypothalamus. That's what it got the name, hypothalamus. Below the diencephalon, it is located, so it is named to be the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the structure now we'll discuss. Hypothalamus is said to be the master gland control center. The ventral side of the diencephalon, the hypothalamus is present. Hypothalamus is connecting both nervous system as well as endocrine system. How? Let's discuss. This is the adenohypophysis and this is the neurohypophysis. Nothing but anterior part of the pituitary, posterior part of the pituitary. These hormones of the adenohypophysis are what stimulated by the hormones secreted from the hypothalamus. and also the neurohypophysis, which releases the hormones, name it to be the ADH or vasopressin and oxytocin, are in fact synthesized in the hypothalamus and are brought into the neurohypophysis, and from there it is released. So this is the reason why hypothalamus is intimately connecting the nervous system with that of the endocrine system. Next, hypothalamus is what considered to be with the neurosecretory cells. Look at here. The hypothalamus is with the hormone secreting cells, name it to be the neurosecretory cells, hypothalamic cells. And one point to remember and recall, the hypothalamus is stimulated by the stimulus from the receptors, and thereby it releases the hormones also. How? Just recall your memory. We discussed that when the dehydration takes place, recall your memory, the method of the regulation activity in the excretory system we discussed. That when dehydration takes place, the receptors detect this and stimulate the hypothalamus. Immediately the osmoreceptors on and they give signal to the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus synthesize the hormones, name it to be the ADH or vasopressin. We discussed this. When it is dehydration, this is detected by the receptors, osmoreceptors, which become on and stimulate the hypothalamus. The stimulus from the receptors, hypothalamus respond and synthesize the hormones, that is ADH or vasopressin. Then it reaches the neurohypophysis and it is released into the blood, and it reaches into the distal convoluted tubule and the collecting duct, where it play a role in the reabsorption of water, and loss of water is prevented. That is the role played by the hypothalamus. Let's come to the discussion of the hypothalamus, which includes the hypothalamic cells, name it to be the neurosecretory cells or nucleus. Recall your memory. What do you learn in first year? We discussed that the group of the cell bodies is named to be the group of cell bodies in the central nervous system is named nucleus. Group of cell bodies in the CNS, is that hypothalamus part of the dancephalon? Right. Dancephalon is part of the forebrain. Forebrain, nothing but the brain. Brain is the part of the central nervous system. So the group of the cell bodies in the central nervous system is nucleus. This is the evidence of that statement. Group of the cell bodies in the peripheral nervous system, named it to be the ganglion. Is it right? Yes. Group of nerve fibers in the central nervous system is named it to be the tracts. Yes, this is what. And a group of nerve fibers in the peripheral nervous system, name it to be the nerves. These are the point which are very, very important to recall. So the group of the cell bodies in the hypothalamus are nucleus or neurosecretory cells that synthesizes the neurotransmitters, that is chemical messengers, hormones. These are of the releasing hormones, and they are inhibitory hormones. I repeat, they are releasing hormone and inhibitory hormone. I will list out that. That is a growth hormone, releasing hormone. Growth hormone, inhibitory hormone. Next, melanocytic stimulating releasing hormone. Melanocytic inhibitory, stimulating inhibitory hormone. Prolactin releasing hormone. Prolactin, PRL, prolactin inhibitory hormone. It can be said PRLRH, prolactin releasing hormone, prolactin inhibitory hormone. Next, apart from that, so these become the 6. There are 9 hormones we say. That is the corticotropin releasing hormone. Next, corticotropin, thyrotropin releasing hormone, thyrotropin releasing hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone, GnRH. I repeat, the list of the hormones released from the hypothalamus are said to be the releasing hormone, and what it is said to be the inhibitory hormones. Releasing hormone, inhibitory hormones. The releasing hormone are growth hormone, releasing hormone, which is also said to be the somatocrinin, which is said to be the GHRS. This is the hormone synthesized in the nucleus of the hypothalamus, and it reached the adenohypophysis and stimulated the release of the growth hormone. That's what growth hormone, releasing hormone. Next, growth hormone, inhibitory hormone. You better make a note, the abbreviation for this: growth hormone, releasing hormone, somatocrinin. Whereas growth hormone, inhibitory hormone is somatostatin, which inhibit the secretion of the growth hormone. Next, melanocytic stimulating releasing hormone. That is, this is the hormone stimulated, the melanocyte stimulating hormone. At the same time, melanocytic stimulating inhibitory hormone. This hormone inhibits the secretion of melanocytic stimulating hormone. Next, prolactin releasing hormone, which stimulates the release of the prolactin. Prolactin is the hormone said to be the lactogenic. Milk secretion and synthesis is by prolactin. Milk secretion synthesis is by prolactin, which is induced by prolactin releasing hormone. In the same manner, prolactin inhibitory hormone, which inhibit the secretion of the prolactin. Next, thyrotropic releasing hormone, TRH, thyrotropic releasing hormone, corticotropin releasing hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone. So how many they become? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep that in mind, dear children. List of this hormone. These are all what these released from the neurosecretory cells of the hypothalamus. These released or inhibitory hormone synthesized in the nucleus through the blood circulation, which is named to be the portal circulation, which is said to be the hypophyseal circulation. We name it as hypocirculation. Recall your memory, hypophyseal circulation. While discussion of the blood circulation, we discussed the coronary circulation and hypophyseal circulation during the blood circulation in the body fluids and the circulation. So hypophyseal circulation, in the sense, it is also a kind of portal circulation. Hepatic portal circulation, hypophyseal portal circulation we have seen. So since it is from the hypophysis, So since it is towards the hypophysis, so it is named to be the hypophyseal circulation. That is the list of the releasing and inhibitory hormones synthesized here by nucleus through a portal being brought into the adenohypophysis, which is named to be the hypophyseal circulation, which means the growth hormone stimulation is done by somatocrine of the hypothalamus itself. Next, even the growth hormone, if excessive, it is inhibited by somatostatin. If melanocytic stimulating hormone is required, this hormone is released, which is stimulate the melanocytic stimulating hormone. Simultaneously, in contrast to that, the melanocytic inhibiting hormone inhibit the secretion of melanocytic. Then prolactin releasing and inhibitory. So what do you find? All these 6, these are antagonistic, one against the another. We have seen earlier gastrin, enterogastrin, insulin and glucagon, right? These are all what considered to be the antagonistic, and these are also what added to that. So by all these hormones, what you come to know? You come to know that however pituitary gland is a master gland. Pituitary gland is said to be the master gland. Why? From pituitary, the hormones released influencing the other gland. For suppose adenocorticotropin hormone is synthesized from the adenohypophysis. It stimulates the cortex of the adrenal to release corticoid hormones, which means pituitary is influencing the other gland for their secretion, right? But here the pituitary, however, it is a master gland, but its hormones are also under the control of hypothalamus. This is the reason why hypothalamus is said to be the hypothalamus is said to be treated as, considered as master gland control center. Now you are clear with why the hypothalamus is the master gland control center. Is it clear? Right? And so this is how hypothalamus is the master gland control center. It is it is synthesizing both releasing and inhibitory hormone. Of this, the growth hormone releasing hormone somatocrine, growth hormone inhibitory somatostatin, melanocytic stimulating releasing hormone melanocytic inhibitory hormone, prolactin releasing hormone prolactin inhibitory. These are all one against the another 6. Then thyrotropin releasing hormone, corticotropin releasing hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone is released from hypothalamus. It stimulates the gonadotropin to release. What are gonadotropins? FSH and LH are gonadotropin, and these are what stimulating the testis and ovary. So from pituitary, the gonadotropins are releasing, which influencing the gonads to release their hormone and their function. But these gonadotropins are also influenced by the hypothalamus. That's what it is said to be the gonadotropin releasing hormone. That's what the hypothalamus is the master gland control center. Next, there are nucleus named to be the paraventricular nucleus and supraoptic the nucleus are present. Nucleus in the sense neurosecretory cells. So far this is through hypophyseal circulation reaching the adenohypophysis and influence the hormones of the adenohypophysis. Whereas the another way, the nucleus release 2 hormones named to be the ADH, antidiuretic hormone, or vasopressin. ADH or the antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, as well as oxytocin are the two hormones synthesized by neurosecretory cells. These are through hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract, means hypothalamus here, from which the group of nerve fiber, just now I told you, the group of the nerve fibers in the central nervous system, name it to be the tract. So hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract, they are directly innervate into neurohypophysis and release these two hormones, ADH or vasopressin and oxytocin. Thereby the ADH is for water retention, we have discussed. That is reabsorption of water, which is conditional and regulated manner, name it to be the facultative reabsorption. That is nothing but ADH performing the reabsorption of water, and oxytocin is a hormone which influences the uterine contraction, ejection of milk. It is the hormone of maternity. So this is the detail about the hypothalamus. Thank you.